How does a thyroid colloid cyst form? Imagine your thyroid gland as a small butterfly-shaped organ in your neck, full of tiny sacs called follicles. These follicles are like little storage tanks for thyroid hormone precursors, which are kept in a gel-like substance called colloid. Under normal conditions, these follicles produce thyroid hormones and store enough colloid to meet your body's needs. But sometimes, things go a bit off balance, and that's when a colloid cyst can develop. A thyroid colloid cyst mainly forms because of abnormal changes within the thyroid tissue that cause colloid to build up inside the follicles. One common reason is overgrowth of the thyroid cells, a process called hyperplasia. When the thyroid is overstimulated, often by a hormone called thyroid-stimulating hormone, the cells multiply more than usual. This can cause the follicles to enlarge and produce more colloid than they can normally handle. If the excess colloid isn't properly processed or released, it begins to accumulate, creating a fluid-filled space that turns into a cyst. Another way these cysts form is through degeneration of hyperplastic nodules. When parts of the thyroid grow excessively, some areas may break down or liquefy over time. This breakdown releases colloid and fluid into the surrounding tissue, which can collect and form a cystic space. Damage or inactivity of follicular cells can also cause colloid to build up. If the cells become damaged or inactive, they might not release colloid properly, leading to its accumulation inside the follicle. Underlying thyroid conditions play a role too. For example, in multinodular goiter, multiple enlarged nodules develop, often with irregular growth patterns that promote cyst formation. Autoimmune conditions like Hashimoto's thyroiditis cause inflammation and tissue changes that can also lead to abnormal follicle behavior and cyst development. Genetic factors and environmental influences, such as iodine deficiency, can make the thyroid more prone to these changes. Iodine is essential for thyroid hormone production, and a deficiency can cause the gland to work harder, leading to hyperplasia and cyst formation. Histologically, these cysts are formed from hyperplastic follicles that have accumulated excess colloid. Over time, they may grow larger and sometimes contain thick, dense colloid. The good news is that most colloid cysts are benign, meaning they do not spread outside the thyroid gland. In summary, a thyroid colloid cyst develops when the follicles inside the thyroid gland accumulate too much colloid due to abnormal cell growth, damage, or inactivity, often triggered by increased stimulation from thyroid-stimulating hormone or underlying thyroid disorders. These changes cause fluid-filled nodules to form, which are generally harmless but should be monitored by a healthcare professional. If you notice any lumps or swelling in your neck, it's always best to consult a doctor for proper diagnosis and management.